Getting ready for the FOMC meeting on September 20 and 21, 2016. Lending is life's default setting. Who would want to share profits with you and me? Would you share your profits with others? We're going to examine these issues today. September 15, 2016. I am Gopalan Ramachandran, Ramach. My email is upturnmanifesto@gmail.com. The Federal Open Market Committee of the U.S. Federal Reserve System will meet on September 20 and 21, 2016 to vote for or vote against a hike in the federal funds rate, the Fed funds rate. The Fed funds rate was between 0.00% and 0.25% from December 16, 2008 until December 16, 2015, the 7 years of near zero Fed funds rate. My view is that the near zero Fed funds rate has held back the economic recovery. The Fed funds rate has been between 0.25% and 0.50% since December 16, 2015, when the FOMC voted for a hike by 25 basis points. Presidential debates and the election. The FOMC meeting on September 20 and 21, 2016 will precede the presidential debates. The three debates are on September 26, October 9, and October 19, 2016. The moderators will most certainly request the candidates to express and then explain their assessments of the policies of the U.S. Federal Reserve. There'll be one more meeting of the FOMC on November 1 and 2, 2016, and November 8, 2016 is Election Day. What would or should the FOMC do when they meet on September 20 and 21, 2016? We have begun work on these. We have adopted a step-by-step approach. We have discussed why people borrow, why money doesn't make money, and now we are on to asking a question about the default setting in life, which is lending. First, money doesn't make money. Therefore, we need to put our savings to work. We can choose one or more of four options. And let's assume we are all specialists, we are all athletes. First option, deposit our savings in a bank. Second option, lend money to that coffee trader whom we discussed in our first video. This coffee trader is in Iowa City. Third option, become a partner, shareholder in that coffee trader's business. And finally, we ourselves become coffee traders in Iowa City. The monthly size of this business is 1 million pounds of Colombian coffee beans. Colombian coffee can be bought at several prices depending on market conditions, between 65 cents a pound and 90 cents a pound. Coffee traders require special skills to buy the fine Arabica beans. These skills will include timing, discernment towards quality, contracting, storage, funding, and insurance, so that when they buy at those lowest possible prices, they achieve the lowest possible weighted average buying price. Coffee traders with serious expertise are known to buy the finest beans at a weighted average of 80 cents a pound. Colombian coffee beans can be sold at prices between 70 cents a pound and 95 cents a pound. Coffee traders require special skills to sell the fine beans. Once again, timing, discernment towards quality, and contracting to achieve the highest possible weighted average selling price. Coffee traders with serious expertise are known to sell the finest beans at a weighted average of 90 cents a pound. Coffee trading is risky. It requires special skills. It's not an easy open and shut case. It could be a gut-wrenching open and shut case if we buy coffee at 90 cents a pound and sell it at 70 cents a pound, we will have to shut our business. Coffee trading is risky. Risk comprises the chance of gain and the chance of loss. We could gain $300,000. We could lose $200,000. The last one, the number, $200,000, 20 cents multiplied by £1,000,000. The outcomes are asymmetric, yet the loss is daunting. Therefore, option 4 is off. We don't want to be coffee traders. We now have 3 courses of action: deposit our savings in a bank, lend money to the coffee trader, or become partners or shareholders in the coffee trader's business. We're going to ride on the coffee trader's skills with the third option. Rowan Johnson is currently the sole owner of Brown Beanery in Iowa City. He is an expert. He has a track record of shrewd buying and suave selling. Weighted average buying price from the records we know, 80 cents a pound. Weighted average selling price, 90 cents a pound. Looks very favorable. And here's some good news. Rowan Johnson is looking for money to expand his business. So we approach him and we get to know that Rowan has abandoned Plan A. In Plan A, it involves trading in Colombian coffee without borrowing. All the $800,000, that's 80 cents per pound, supposed to come from the equity owner. The profits are good, $100,000. The return on investment, of course, is pretty low, 12.5%. Rowan Johnson chooses some other plan, which we saw in our first video on borrowing. He chooses Plan B. He borrows $400,000 from a bank. Let's look at the numbers here. Rowan's Plan B, 50% equity and 50% borrowing. And it so happens now that he borrows at 0.75% per month. He pays interest, and his profit now is $97,000. From the $900,000, you subtract the loan of $400,000 less the interest of $3,000, and you take back your equity $400,000. You get $97,000, and the return on investment per month on an investment of $400,000 is 24.25. Rowan therefore chooses to borrow since the return on investment is 24.25, which is greater than the 12.5%. We asked Rowan if we could bring in $200,000 off the $400,000 equity. We want to ride on Rowan's expertise. He sees through our scheme. Rowan Johnson declines. Let's see why. The firm now has $400,000 credit or debt, $400,000 equity, of which $200,000 come from Rowan, the other $200,000 from us. Of course, there's borrowing at 0.75%. The profit remains the same at $97,000. The return on investment per month remains the same at 24.25%. However, Rowan Johnson would merely get half of the $97,000 as his share of the profit. There are now 2 sets of shareholders. One, Mr. Johnson, the other, all of us. So $48,500 is all that you would get for the same application of business acumen. We'll get the other half. We now know why Rowan does not want us to be his partners or shareholders. Successful firms, competent firms, will only borrow. They won't seek partners or shareholders. Partners and shareholders cause a decline in earnings, a dilution or dilution in earnings. So option 3-2 is off. We wanted to be there as partners, but Rowan does not want us in. So we are left with the remaining 2 courses of action. Deposit our savings in a bank, and of course lend money directly to the coffee trader. If we choose to lend, we need to keep records. We need to hire a lawyer. We need to look at contracting. We need to look into the books of accounts. We need to do the inspection of the stocks. After all the hard work, Rowan may incur a loss. And even if he made a profit, we'll have to wait for him to pay interest and repay the principal. There's work and there's risk. We face both default risk and liquidity risk. Therefore, option 2 is off. We deposit our savings, and that's exactly what most of us do. A significant part of the savings of households goes into banks as deposits. Our bank is going to do the work for us. Our bank now has 3 courses of action. Same analysis, same results. Option 4, would the bank have the expertise in coffee trading? No, it's as risk averse, so option 4 is off. Option 3, Rowan Johnson says the same thing. He does not want our bank as a partner because successful firms will not seek partners and shareholders. Partners and shareholders cause a decline in Rowan's share of his earnings. Therefore, the bank is not welcome. Our bank chooses to lend. Money has to be put to work. A significant part of deposits in banks is lent to families and firms. Our savings become deposits. Our deposits then become loans. Our bank chooses to lend, and it has all the advantages. It has the expertise to assess credit or default risk. It has the expertise to manage credit risk or default risk. Moreover, it has the institutional authorization to manage liquidity. It can borrow at the Fed funds rate. Therefore, the default setting in life, lending and loans. Lending is life's default setting. The US Federal Reserve has printed a lot of money. We need to find out what part of the new money and the new savings was lent to households during the economic recovery. We'll do that soon. Thank you for watching this video. I'm Gopalan Ramachandran, Ramach, and my email is upturnmanifesto@gmail.com.